What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Mofo Rc. And today we're going to do part 2 of the Viper Slayer build. It's going brushless, that's right. Got the Mofo Nanobam combo with the Rockwolf ESC. So, let's hit the table, see what's going on. Alright, so here we are at the table. I already did some stuff here. New Slayer build I'm working on. Orange and silver, looks really cool. I actually had this all put together last night and then realized I had a small issue. I wasn't able to run the electronics that I originally had in the Viper, which were the electronics out of the T-Hunter, which I really liked the control of it. Unfortunately, this takes a different connection, and I only have one adapter for the servo, so I'm not going to be able to use that. But I do have here the version 1 axial electronic, and I will be able to use that. So the low-down control isn't going to be much of an issue because we have this Rockwolf ESC. Now I already started to assemble the Nanobam here. It's in the Mofo Rc mount. I'm going to get this thing close for you guys to see how this was put together. So you guys in the future, if you haven't done it, you can see how this is put together. Now I'm in the stage of now setting a mesh. So, but transmission piece goes here on the back of the mount. This is the forward facing mount. So I had flipped the transmission in the skid for the Viper originally, so the mount was actually facing the wrong way. So I'm going to have to do some drive shaft reconfiguration now that it's actually going to be facing the right way. I chose to run the wire over here. You don't want to bend this wire. I don't want it sticking up. The electronics are more than likely going to be mounted over on the side anyway. So, as I was saying, I'm going to set a mesh here. You can see in there you want a little bit of slop. You don't want it jammed all the way tight. Obviously it's going to strip out those plastic gears very quickly. So just like setting a mesh with anything, you want, just a little bit of play in it. Somewhere in there. Then what I usually will do is tighten one up really good. Take the other one out, Loctite it, put it back in, take the one out, Loctite it. That way you don't lose that mesh. Very important, because you don't want to run the screws in and then realize you put it in wrong. So there's that, all assembled. I'll set the mesh, get that together, and then we'll see how exactly I'm going to stuff this in there with those electronics, with the Nanobam and Rockwolf combo. Alright guys, day 2 of the build. And so I put the Mofo Nanobam in the orange and silver Slayer, and then got really thinking about the drive shaft things and issues that I was going to have putting it in this, and then realized I could use a CR18P rear, and I trimmed down the front. So we'll be able to put this all together and see just how awesome that Nanobam's going to be in the Viper. Alright guys, here we are, day 3 of the Viper Slayer build, and as you can see, I've got it all put together. I've got everything kind of jammed in there. I also went ahead and changed out this battery plug. I did not want to use the axial battery. I wanted to use the battery from FMS. I like those batteries and they fit on top of that servo. So deep inside there you can see I have that V1 electronic shoved to the side of the motor and mount, and the Rockwolf is tucked in the back right here. Now this was a little bit tricky to get everything in there, and I'm going to go over some details. I'll set up the camera and I'll show you what I did to that V1 electronic to make it fit, because it does not fit under there without a little modification. So without further ado, we'll get to that. Okay guys, got you in nice and close to the table. here you have the V1 electronic, and this is what I used in there. And you have to decase it. So you get the case off it, and then in order to get it to fit in there, and I had it fit in like this, probably easier with this empty case. So it's in there like this. And you pull it apart, and the next thing you're gonna have to do is remove the on-off switch. Now you can do this a couple ways. I kind of just clipped mine out, and I was a little rough with it, which I actually might have damaged some circuitry for the servo channel, which I was able to fix. One thing you want to do when you have it decased is probably put some electrical tape over the back of the circuit board, because if you have oils and stuff on your fingers, you can actually contaminate the board a little bit, and that could also be a problem. So once you have the power switch removed, it will fit in there. You have to tuck it kind of sideways in against the skid to get it in there, and you can see the roof is bulged a little bit, but it does fit in there, and it actually, you know, is secure. It's not going to go anywhere. And then behind it here, what I did is just kind of tuck that Rockwolf in behind it. It is touching the shock there, but it's not on a wear point, so it shouldn't bother it, because you want to leave plenty of room in there for that outrunner to turn. You don't really want anything rubbing. Back to what I did for the battery mount. You're obviously not going to be able to fit a battery inside the cab anywhere. So I have these two batteries. I ditched the axial connection, and I went with this guy. I believe this is a PT 2.0 or 1.5, I think. I'll put that in there, let you guys know. You can clip them. What I did was use one out of a burnt up Easy RC, so I just clipped the plug out of that, and then I took the connection from one of my motors that had burnt up, as you can see here, and I removed that. And when you do that, you want to make sure at any point in time that you didn't switch to polarity on the motor. Say you reversed the skid in there, and you had to reverse the direction the motor was turning, because I did that. I put this all together, plugged in a battery, and it got really hot really fast. And then I realized what I had done is pulled it off a motor that I had, you know, reversed direction on for some reason, one thing or another. But all said and done, I will give this Rockwolf credit. Both the V1 and the Rockwolf took the reverse voltage, got hot. I unplugged it fast enough, nothing got damaged. And I was very lucky. So be very mindful of that if you're going to swap out battery connections. I mean, you can probably fit the axial battery on there. It's just not clean and as nice as one of these guys. You got your bigger Hobby Plus battery, and you got your smaller. This is an Easy RC, but it's FMS battery. What I do to mount this on there is I take a little double-sided sticky tape and I just stick it on there, you know, and I plug it in. Both these surfaces are very smooth, so the sticky tape is actually going to release. You're going to have to pull a little hard, but you know, you can take it off. As you see here, I've removed the sticky tape from both sides. Alright, there it is. It's stuffed in there. Absolutely love it. You want to be careful. This thing makes so much power, it will break stuff. I had it in the orange and silver one. I over trimmed the axles, so I had too much steering, and that motor didn't care. It literally just twisted the dog bone until it released. So very cool, very awesome. I love this combination already. It is so smooth, it's slow. You've already seen it, you know, in a short. But let's get a battery on this thing. Let's get it down in the rocks and run it. Alright guys, I'm going to leave you with some run footage of this thing in action. Absolutely love it. Super awesome. It was a great build. And that Nanobam Rockwolf combination just really tied it all together. There will be a part 3. I have a bow on the way and some other cool things. It might even get 4-wheel steer. We'll see. But that being said, I'm going to leave this to you guys to watch with a little bit of music. Enjoy.
Is that a UFO? No. Car.